Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a video on DC Rebirth. Now, before I start this, which has a lot of notes, I watched the whole stream from WonderCon, but before I start talking about this, just want to say that tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Comic Frontline, we will have a whole live stream talking about DC Rebirth with me, Brant from Comic Frontline, Jay from Comic Frontline, and Jeremy from Comic Frontline. So be sure to watch that with our full thoughts and collaborated thoughts on DC Rebirth. But let's get started talking about my thoughts on the event. So first they announced that Rebirth is not a reboot, which I think we already knew that. It's just going back to the essence of the character, and I'm really excited about that concept. Then they showed the new costumes. And out of the new costumes, I really enjoyed Supergirl's new costume, going back to the classic look. Black Canary, I thought they did a good job at making it still look modern, but at least look like Black Canary having the fishnets. And the Green Arrow, I was really impressed with because he has the goatee, which I'm happy about. But it looked modern. It actually looked a lot like the TV show version, too. So I enjoyed that. Alright, so the first set of creative teams they announced was Batman. I think out of all the groups, that's what I was most excited for and what I liked the most. And we had the new books being Batman, Detective Comics, Nightwing, Batgirl, Birds of Prey, and all new Batman. So I'm going to go one by one. New Batman is Tom King and David Finch, and I think David Finch's artwork is at its best when he's doing Batman, so really excited about that. And Tom King, he worked on the Grayson series, which I didn't love, only because I didn't love the espionage style of it. But anytime he tackled the Bat Family stuff, I thought he did a really good job. So I'm excited to see what he does with Batman. I think he knows the character well, and he's teamed up with the other Batman writers for like the weekly series, so excited to see where that goes. Next is something I'm really excited about, which is Detective Comics. Probably the comic I'm most excited about because it's Batman and Batwoman bringing in, seeing them bring in, we have, spoiler, Cassandra, Tim Drake as Robin again, not Red Robin, but Robin. And I think those are all the three characters that are going to be like I want to say, the new students in a way. And I'm so excited about this. This is like three of my favorite comic characters. And to see Batwoman again, I'm really excited for too. And I just love the concept. It brings back the Bat Family in a new way. And that is the book I'm probably most excited for. Next is Nightwing from Tim Seeley, a writer I've really grown to like. He also was on Grayson for a little while, which I've told you my thoughts on that. But it's great to see Nightwing back in the blue and black, and I love the artwork for it. And I'm excited to see him on his own again and being Nightwing and being hopefully in Gotham again. So I think Tim Seeley's perfect for that, and I love his run on Revival. Alright, next are two writers I really don't know much about. They're not really comic writers, but Hope Larson, who I sort of just wrote some graphic novels, is going to be writing Batgirl, and Raphael Albuquerque on art, which I love his artwork. I think it's gorgeous. So I'm excited about this. I've grown to understand the previous Batgirl run. I didn't love it, but, I read it and I could find things I liked from it. But I'm excited to see Batgirl go in a new direction. And it seems like she's going on this kind of mental journey for herself to, I guess own her skills a little bit more, which is a little upsetting that she has to, because I do think she has that history where she should know all these things, but if it means to bring back the character to who she was, then I'm excited for that. So I'm interested in this concept. Alright, so next is Birds of Prey, which is actually the writers, or two of the writers from The 100, which is a very female-driven television show, which I should be catching up with. But Birds of Prey looks awesome. It's the first arc looks really interesting, where it's them hunting for who this new Oracle is, which is obviously a great arc to start Birds of Prey. And it's Huntress, it's Dinah, and it's Babs, and that's what you want. I'm excited for this book, and it looks like it has a good essence to it. The last Batman book is All-Star Batman, which is going to be different artists that pretty much Snyder always works with. You have Romita Jr., which I'm not a big fan of. He was actually on stage. I think it was Jock was one of the artists. Sean Murphy. So this is actually just a villains book, and it's going to be like, I think, the most indie creator type book out there for DC. And because it's Scott Snyder, I'll try it. Again, I'm not in love with all the artists that are on it, but I'll definitely try it, and I think it's going to be something new and different. And Scott Snyder will be able to have a good reign on this book. And Scott Snyder has an exclusive deal, which is pretty cool. Which I don't think was a big surprise. Alright, so now we're moving on to the Superman books. First is Action Comics, which out of all of them, I think I'm most excited for, which is weird because I love Supergirl, but I'll get into that. But it's Lex Luthor, you know, not pretending to be Superman, but being his own Superman, and it's the connection to the Lois and Clark book that's going on. And I think if you want a Superman book, this is going to be the most Superman book you can read that DC is going to be publishing. And then we have a new writer, Gene Yang, who's going to be on the new Superman book, which is really different, and I'm actually excited for. It's about this guy in China who gets Superman's powers, and he's very Clark Kentish, and I love the setting because obviously comics, you know, they're usually, you know, their setting's usually in America, especially like DC and Marvel. So it's kind of cool to see a hero from China who the writer seems very tone to that, and he's really interested in the culture, and I'm excited for that. I want to learn more about this culture, and I think it's really original and new, and of course it's not the main Superman book, but I'm definitely game for that. Alright, so next is Supergirl, which is Steve Orlando, which I don't know much about the writer, but I love the cover. But then when I started hearing about the actual story arc, it seems a little bit more in tone to the New 52, which you know I'm not a big fan of that version of Supergirl. It has to do with her father, Cyborg Superman, and the interior artwork is something I'm going to have to get used to. It wasn't like the cover artwork, so I'll get used to it, I guess. So I'm obviously not judging the book right now, but from what I heard, it didn't get me as excited as the other books. And as you guys know, I'm a big Supergirl fan. Next is Wonder Woman, which I am so excited for. I'm not a huge Wonder Woman fan, but the creative team got me excited because we have Nicola Scott and Greg Rucka, the creative team of Black Magic, and then Liam Sharp also added into that. And it just seems really cool, and I love the gorgeous artwork for this book. So Wonder Woman, I'm really excited for the direction they're going. So I want to see if there's any more Superman. They also just mentioned Trinity's going to be Frances Manapool, which you guys know I love Frances Manapool. So looking forward to that. Superwoman, really like the artist. We have Jimenez, Phil Jimenez, and the artist of Starfire, I can never pronounce his name, Lupacino, who has gorgeous artwork in Starfire. And Tomasi, Tomasi's writing... He's writing Superman, so that's gonna be interesting. They didn't really talk much about Superman, but yeah, Superwoman. They didn't announce who Superwoman actually is. I guess they're waiting for that. And that's all for that portion. Wonder Woman and the Trinity. All right, so now we're moving on to other titles from the Justice League. The Justice League book itself is drawn by Tony S. Daniel, which is pretty interesting. We'll see if I wrote down, and it's going to be Brian Hitch writing that book, which I didn't love his JLA, but we'll find out if I enjoy his Justice League. Another one I'm actually really excited for is The Flash, and that's Joshua Williamson, who's writing Birthright right now, and he's writing Illuminati at Marvel, and I love this concept that it's this Speed Force storm attacking or giving people powers, and you see someone kills someone, someone with the Speed Force kills a person, someone wants to be a hero, so I'm really interested in that concept. I think it's really cool and something different for The Flash, and the artwork looked really cool too. One that, you know, I'm kind of tired of this writer on the book, but Vendetti on Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. But what I'm happy about is that it does seem like it's not just Hal Jordan, which is great. It looks like Carol's going to be in the book, Sinestro, so hopefully it'll go back to kind of the essence of Hal Jordan, which I think he's done a better job at recently. Next, another book I am so excited about, and that is Green Lanterns, and the writer being Sam Humphries, which I've grown to really enjoy his writing, especially with Star-Lord and Kitty Pryde. I think he's done a great job with those books. Weird World he's writing right now. He's writing a lot of books. But what I really like about this is that it's going to be Baz and Jessica Cruz. And these are characters I feel like, I always say, is like, they don't do anything with them. They introduced them and didn't do anything. And here they're really focusing on them with the Justice League and them getting their own book. And their sector is going to be Earth, finally grounding Green Lanterns again. And it's going to be them going against the Red Lanterns. And I am really excited about that and excited to see these two gain a friendship. And spoiler alert, Jessica Cruz becomes a Green Lantern. But I don't think anyone didn't see that one coming. Alright, so next is Cyborg, and actually this is John Semper, who is, he worked on Static Shock and the Spider-Man 90s cartoon. And I'm not a huge Cyborg fan, so I don't know if I'll pick this up, but he seems like a really cool person to be working on the title. Alright, so next is Dan Abnett, who's going to be working on Aquaman, and it seems like it's going to be very character-driven. So I might give Aquaman a try because of that. Alright, so now we're moving on to the next page. We have Titans, also Abnett will be working on, because he's working on Titans Hunt. Makes sense. Don't love that Booth is doing the artwork, but, you know, I think sometimes I could grow to, I guess, understand his art a little bit more, or appreciate his art more, so hopefully I do that if it's a good story. And this book is about friendship, finally. Friendship with the Teen Titans. And then also they announced that Justice League issue 50 is gonna be about revealing the Joker's identity, which I don't know if I want, but it's Jeff Johns, so I kinda trust him. Well, I definitely trust him, to bring us a good story with that. Alright, so next is Suicide Squad, Harley Quinn. Suicide Squad is going to be written by Philip Tan. I don't really have much of an opinion on that because I'm not reading Suicide Squad. They announced that Amanda Conner is exclusive to DC, which totally makes sense also. And then, great to see Paul Miotti and Amanda Conner back on Harley Quinn. Really the only creative team that stayed from the New 52. So I thought that was great. Alright, so this is where some of the disappointments come. Here we have a very quick, they did a kind of a quick speed round for these titles. Ben Percy on Green Arrow still. They said at least Black Canary and Green Arrow will meet, but I'm not loving Percy's run on Green Arrow and his bug stories. Hopefully he goes back to the essence of what Green Arrow is with Rebirth. Then you have Red Hood and the Outlaws, or Red Hood and what I think it's called, Arsenal, whatever it's called now. Scott Lobdell, it seems like Artemis, not the Young Justice Artemis, but the original Artemis from the comics is gonna be in that book. But not a big Lobdell fan, probably will skip that. Then you have Hellblazer by Simon Oliver, don't have an opinion on that, don't read Hellblazer. Deathstroke is supposedly going to be more character-driven, so I haven't been loving the Deathstroke series right now, but maybe I'll stick with it if I hear, you know, it's going to be more character-driven, that book. Then you have Batman Beyond. For you Batman Beyond fans, Dan Jurgens is on that title, and Terry McGinnis is back. So, for you guys who are a fan of that series and that character, I'm sure you're happy. Blue Beetle, Keith Giffen, and that's going to be about Ted and Jaime. And I'm not a huge Blue Beetle fan, but I'm definitely going to try this out. I think it's cool to see kind of that legacy-type book. Teen Titans. I was looking forward to this, but I don't know anymore. It's Ben Percy, who's writing Green Arrow. I'll pick it up, definitely. Now, two titles they didn't really announce much about. Sure, San Diego Comic-Con will be more for this. Super Sons and JLA, which I'm pretty sure is going to be a Jeff Johns book, and we'll actually see Just Society. But yeah, overall, I'm going to say I was pretty happy with the outcome of this stream, this panel. There was maybe only one or two disappointments, and I haven't read those books yet, so those could definitely surprise me. But I would say I was most excited for the Bat Family stuff. And what else was I really excited for? Bat Family and Green Lantern stuff, I think I was most excited for. Which is weird, because that's when the New 52 started. Those are the characters that kind of stayed the same. But, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like I said, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, tonight on Comic Frontline, we will have a full-blown discussion on this, and really going in depth on the stream and what happened at the convention. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is Comic You Know. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later. Bye.